A startling revelation. Mamaw Buile took the chicks around the corner of the cabin to the corn crib. It was a small structure made of squared timbers and stone. In front of the door were two mid hens playing a game of quick straw. Mamaw Buile greeted them. "Hey, Frina. Howdy, Julie." Briefly looking up from the twigs she was holding, Frina idly replied, "Hey, Mamaw." "Well, what you gals up to?" asked the old hen. "Just doing some guard duty," said Frina, as she selected a twig from Julie and lay down too. And then she said, "Draw." "Yep," said Julie as she shuffled her twigs. "We're doing our duty for Hen and Homestead. Okay, draw." Julie selected a twig from Frina and laid down 3. "I see," said Mamaw Buile. "Y'all minds if'n I lets myself in?" Frina cocked an eye towards the 2 chicks and asked, "They with you?" "Yep," said Mamaw Buile. Frina looked at Julie, who shrugged, and then she looked back at Mamaw Buile and asked, "You got a key?" "Does I needs one?" asked the old hen. "Knowing you, probably not," said Frina. She then went back to studying her sticks. Mamaw Buile stepped up to the wooden door, which had a complicated-looking lock on it. Chick and Peck huddled around her to get a peek. "How you going to open that?" asked Chick. "Doesn't Aunt Hasidia have the only key?" "She does," said Mamaw Buile. "Looks complicated," said Peck. "'Tis," said Mamaw Buile as she studied the lock, "but every now and then a complicated thing tain't so complicated." She then raised her foot and stuck a yellow claw into the keyhole and wiggled it until there was a sharp click and the lock popped open. "There you go," she said. Not looking up from her sticks, Frina muttered, "Knew she didn't need a key." Mamaw Buile pushed open the door and went inside. Chick and Peck followed. They looked around, and against the back of the wall was a pile of cobs full of corn. "Somehow I thought there would be more," said Peck. Mamaw Buile replied, "There's some yet to be harvested, but 'tain't that much." Chick angrily replied, "There has to be more. I bet Aunt Hasidia has hidden it somewhere." He looked at Peck and said, "She knew we'd be checking up on her, and she must have moved most of it. That's why the mid-hens didn't stop us from coming in here." "I bet they knew too." "Oh, Frina and Julie done knowed something all right," said Mamaw Buile, "but 'tis nae what you think." The frustrated Chick pointed an accusing wing at Mamaw Buile. "I bet you're in on it too, you and Aunt Hasidia. You're hoarding the corn." "I don't think she is," said Peck as he walked over to look at the pile of corn. Chick whirled around and meeped angrily. "What do you mean, you don't think so she is? Of course she is." "I don't think so," said Peck. "Look at this corn and tell me what you see." "Cobs of corn," said Chick. "Precisely, but look closer." Chick wasn't sure what he was supposed to be looking at. He wasn't even sure if this was the right amount of corn. It all just seemed like there was less than there should be. Peck turned to Mamaw Buile and said, "The rumors about the corn shortage aren't true, are they?" "Nay, 'tis exactly," said the old hen. "We got about the same number of cobs as last year, except these cobs are smaller." "So it's not so much a corn shortage as it is shorter corn," said Peck. "Seems so," said Mamaw Buile. "I'm confused," said Chick. "Is there a corn shortage or not?" Suddenly, someone behind him said, "That is precisely what we are going to find out." Chick turned and saw Aunt Hasidia standing there. "Auntie Cornut, I see you've let yourself in again, and you brought the delinquents with you." Mamaw Buile defiantly stuck her beak out and said, "So what? 'Tain't no rule agin that." Looking down her beak at Mamaw Buile, Aunt Hasidia said, "Yes, well, As the senior auntie on the council, I suppose you have a right to be here.
I does, the old hen snapped, no matter how hard y'all tries to keep me out.
Nonetheless, said Aunt Acedia, these chicks should not be in here.
Why, we're fixin' to go, said the old hen. I reckon 'tis time for the council to get started.
As a matter of fact, it is, said Aunt Acedia. I've taken it upon myself to come and find you.
I chicoined, said Mamaw Buile, in a tone that indicated she felt that
Aunt Acedia was anything but kind.
But you needs to bother.
Oh, it's no bother, said Aunt Acedia in a tone that suggested it was a huge bother. Mamaw Buile reared up, and in spite of only coming up to Aunt Acedia's midsection, managed to appear intimidating.
Are you giving me beak?
Asked the old hen sharply. Aunt Acedia responded by glaring back at her. The two hens stared at each other in a standoff. Mamaw Buile, glaring up, clucked in a low growl that only Aunt Acedia could hear. Aunt Acedia blinked and stepped back. Then she replied evenly, I'm merely suggesting that even though the mid-hens have the mob under control, it would be prudent if you and the chicks allowed me to escort you back to the cabin. Mamaw Buile cocked her head to one side and clucked,
Well, all right, so long as you ain't giving me no beak.
She then turned to the chicks and said,
Come on, let's go.